William Shatner is actually going into outer space. Have you heard about this?
Didn't he live in space in like the 70s? What the hell am I missing here?
No, that was Captain Kirk, a character that he played. But William Shatner is finally living up to his legacy and getting to go into outer space.
How old is, I didn't even know he was still alive. How old is Shatner?
That's the mind-blowing thing is William Shatner's 90 years old. Like,
at that point, it's 90 years young. Because if he's going to space, like, he's 90 years young.
I mean, before that, it would have almost been, before I knew he was 90, I would have almost assumed he's got to be the oldest guy going into space, but he's fucking 90 years old. Like, you can't send a 90-year-old into space. Like, I don't know a whole lot about what being 90 years old is like, but it's got to be a rough go. Like, dude, there's problems.
The cabin pressure would fucking kill you, wouldn't it?
I mean, there's so much. And I've always been under the impression that the people that go into outer space, they have to be in peak physical condition. They have to have all these physicals. They have to make sure they don't even have a fucking cold to get up there. And they got to be, the peak specimen physical condition. And now there's a 90-year-old going up there. That seems pretty, like, everything seems like bullshit to me now.
Well, exactly. So why the fuck couldn't I be an astronaut then?
Why the fuck couldn't I be an astronaut then? I guess now you could if you had 100,000 or whatever the fuck it is they're charging. Because this is, by the way, I should say this is SpaceX. This is Jeff Bezos sending.
Oh, Bezos. Okay. So they're just touching the top. They're calling it outer space, coming back down.
Yeah, they're only doing like a 15-minute in outer space thing. So this is more for the headlines, I gotta believe, is that Captain Kirk is finally going into outer space kind of stories. Stuff like that you and I are probably going to bite on every time.
Well, that's it. But it's William Shatner. Like, why don't we send Betty White with him?
There we go. I mean, could you imagine Betty White going into outer space?
I mean, that'd be awesome.
It would be awesome, but I
don't
mean,
know if she'd make it, but
that's the thing is at 90, and I would have never guessed that Shatner was 90. I knew he was getting up there, but 90 years old, space travel is probably not a good idea. I don't know. But I don't know the science between anti-gravity and heart rhythms, or the science between like all the other possible problems that that's just off the top of my head is heart rhythms in outer space, but all the other possible problems that an elderly person who's 90 years old, like 20 years past what a lot of people, don't make it by, 90 years old, and he's going into outer space. It seems like a bad idea, but I mean, I don't want to be a downer. It is cool. I'm pretty stoked to see Shatner get out to outer space. It seems pretty fitting.
Okay, cool. So, has Shatner, has he already gone on the trip, or is he on his way to do the trip? I don't know.
We'll be going next month.
Next month, okay. So let's think of things that could happen, okay?
Sure.
Now you're starting to put like almost regular people up there. The first time there's an explosion and somebody dies, does that kill the space program?
You gotta know that Jeff Bezos is going to be sued if that happens, right? Like,
as well as if William Shatner at 90 years old dies, do they put an age limit on that motherfucker? Do they go, you know what, the cabin pressure with the lack of oxygen was just a little too much for Mr. Shatner and he passed away? Because once you're up there, like, there's no getting down quick.
No.
It's not like a plane where you're 30,000 feet and you go, okay, we're descending, and you take a quick drop. Like, you're free falling for a few minutes if you got to try and get him there. He's done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very scary situation. I hope nothing happens. I hope it's okay.
Now, if he dies in space, is that irony from being Captain Kirk? Is that the definition of ironic? Is that?
I think that's actually the definition of fitting, but
fitting. Yeah. Okay, we'll call it fitting.
Fitting, yeah, it's a very fitting death for Captain Kirk.
Which I hope doesn't happen. My brain Shatner comes back down to earth. But I'm just thinking to myself, like, at 90, I know you got nothing left in the tank to do. You've done everything and everyone. You might as well go to space.
It is a very fitting legacy for William Shatner. He's made space exploration kind of cool with Star Trek, the original run, and now he's being one of the first civilians to go into outer space, and that is probably going to be his legacy, which is kind of cool. They're filming a documentary on this too. I assume it'll be on Amazon Prime. I didn't really check, but that's a safe bet.
I would imagine. No, we sold it to Netflix. They gave us more.
So, celebrities going into space. The first ones, I guess, William or Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos are kind of celebrities, but the first real celebrity is going to be William Shatner, pretty cool. I wish him the best. I hope things go well, but I've got my hesitations.